Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be looking at how we analyze news and how it forms the basis of a fundamental analysis. Most of the time when we read an article, it tells us whether it's a bullish or bearish sign for the currency. But what do we do if the article does not mention it, or if the information was only in numbers, such as during a data release? Hence, it's important for you to be able to interpret the news by yourself, so that you can immediately capitalize on these changes in the market. So, look at the news and first decide what kind of news is it. Is it production, employment, growth, or inflation-related news? Firstly, for production-related news, production is really about measuring the amount of things that a country is able to make or produce. This includes manufacturing and construction, etc., but these indicators allow the banks to see how much is being added to the economy every single month and whether or not the nation is being as productive as they would like it to be. If the numbers for production are higher than expected, this would generally be a bullish sign on the currency as it indicates that the economy is going strong. And likewise, if the numbers are lower than expected, the market would tend to view it as a bearish signal. Secondly, we have employment news and information. It normally includes things like how many people are in work, the percentage of people are unemployed, the rate that people earn, whether it is increasing or decreasing. It also includes sub-indicators such as average earnings, unemployment rate, claim accounts, and so on. Similar to production, this indicates to the central banks and to traders how well the economy is doing. High employment data and lower claim amounts are usually viewed positively and have a bullish signal on the currency. Thirdly, we have growth. The most popular indicator in this category is GDP growth, as it is able to give us an overall picture of the economy. Typically, the impact of this will be quite large, but it still depends on how far apart the actual numbers are from the expected. An increase in GDP growth shows a healthy economy, which will strengthen the currency. However, if there is slowing growth, it is likely that banks will cut rates to try spurring on the economy. By cutting rates, investors will move their money out of the country, and this will eventually lead to a depreciation of the currency. Hence, it will be seen as a bearish signal. Fourthly and lastly, we have inflation indicators such as inflation rate. Now this is probably the most important indicator, as central banks try to manage inflation by using interest rates. It measures how much the cost of goods and services are going up or down. Very often, the main purpose of central banks is to ensure that the inflation rate remains stable. For example, most developed nations aim for about 2% inflation. If inflation is higher or lower than that, banks will usually use interest rate as a tool to control inflation. If inflation is too high, it could be a sign that banks will raise interest rates to slow consumer spending. And so there you have it. News isn't hard to interpret. You just have to draw the link to interest rate implications and you'll be able to see how it's going to affect the currency. Now, by splitting it into these four categories, you'll be easily able to understand the impact that the news that you're reading has on currency. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video.